Today my goal is to help you guys feel comfortable for your quiz on Monday. So we're going to review 11.4 to 11.7. The main thing that you're going to want to know is your formulas. If you have these formulas memorized, you're going to do great because all you're doing is basically taking these formulas and plugging in different numbers depending on what the instructions ask you to do, okay? So you're going to want to have all of this memorized. Now, what I'm going to have on your quiz is it's going to have a list like this over here, and then it's going to have a list like this on the other side, and you're going to have to figure out what goes with what. So there's going to be a couple things that can help you to figure things out real quickly, okay? Circumference, all right? Circumference starts with a what? C. So you're going to know your formula is going to be starting with a C, all right? Then there's going to be a couple other ones. This one says radius, so you know you're going to have what letter in there? An R, so you can easily tell that goes with that, okay? So those two are super simple. The other ones, you're just going to kind of try to memorize them, okay? Here's something tricky. Parallelogram, big long word, it actually has the shortest formula. What is the shortest formula for area of a parallelogram? Base times height, okay? Notice with the triangle, all you're doing is adding half times base times height. Trapezoid. Longest formula that we've got, trickiest kind of problems because there's two bases. Do you guys remember how to tell what your two bases are?
The top and the bottom.
The top and the bottom, what kind of lines are those? They're going to be parallel lines, okay? So your trapezoid is going to have a set of parallel lines. And then the last one, the area of a circle, is what we memorized yesterday. What is the area of a circle formula? Pi r squared, okay? So now let's go ahead and do some problems that'll help us find the area of the triangle. I want you guys to try to do this on your own. Start off with your formula and start plugging the numbers in. What is my formula for area of a triangle?
A equals 1/2 times B times A.
Okay, what's my base?
16.
What's my height?
15.
When you plug that in, what is your answer? You're right, we want to switch those two up, okay? The base is 16, which honestly you would have got the same exact answer, but yes, you want the base to be 16, the height to be 15, and what's your answer? 120 feet squared. All right, so even if you had mixed those up like I just tried to almost do, you still would have got the same answer because when you multiply two factors, you'll get the same thing. 16 times 15 is going to be the same thing as 15 times 16, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Find the unknown base or height of the triangle. So we're still dealing with a triangle. You got to try to come up with what formula you're going to need to use. So you try to do that on your own. Try to plug those numbers in and see what you get. What is the formula I'm going to be using? Okay, how'd you figure out that I'm doing half times base times height? It's the area of a triangle formula. Okay, put the equal sign in first. Do I know my area?
45.
45, all right, so we're kind of working backwards on this one. Half times, what's my base? We don't know it, so we'll keep it as a B. What's my height? 15. Put your equal sign. Can I do any work to the left of the equal sign? To the left of the equal sign? Nope, so I'm just going to put my 45. What about the right? Can I do any work on that side? What can I do?
15.
You multiply what you can. So what is half times 15? 7.5b. Your whole goal is to do what? Get b by itself. How do I do that? Divide both sides by 7.5, and this will give you your base, which is 6 centimeters. Should I square it?
No.
When do I square it?
You're finding the area.
Only when finding the area. And for this one, we already know that the area was up here. They've already squared those centimeters. So my base is simply going to be 6 centimeters. Any questions? Okay, on to number 4. Another review problem. I want you guys to write this down and try to do it on your own. All right, find the circumference of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. Right here, what did I give you? Is that the radius or the diameter? The radius. So you want to come up with a formula that has circumference and radius in it. What would that formula be? C equals 2 pi r. So then we're going to start plugging things in. What's pi? What's r? Once you plug all that in, what's your circumference?
43.96.
Okay, 43.96 centimeters. Did I ask you to specifically round it in any way? No, so you're not going to round it, you're just going to keep it exactly like that. Okay, always be looking, especially on your quiz and test. If I ask for the nearest whole number or round it to the nearest tenth, just look carefully at what it should be. If I asked you to round this to the nearest whole number, what would it have been?
44 centimeters.
44, okay, because the nearest whole number means that you're going to be getting rid of all this stuff over here, but that 9 would have made the 43 go up to a 44, okay? Next up. Now we're going to be finding the area of the circle. We're always going to use 3.14 for pi, and for this one, specific instructions, I want you to round it to the nearest tenth. All right, so work this out on your own. I want you to stand beside your chair once you think you've got it, and then once you see someone else is standing, I want you to go ahead and go over to them, compare your answers, and see if you both got it correct. Remember, you're looking for area of the circle. Okay, girls, what is the area of a circle formula? A equals pi r squared. Okay, Ashley, what's the first thing I should plug in? Excellent job. Okay, everybody, what do I do first?
Do the exponent.
Do the exponents first. Okay, what would I get when I do 1.3 times 1.3?
1.7.
1.69. Do not round. Keep it there. The same thing. If you do 1.7, you will get a wrong answer. Okay? So now what's my answer? 5.3 inches squared. Okay, so Addison, you had mentioned just sticking 1.7 right there. I want you guys to try this out and see what you get. 3.14 times 1.7.
No, I thought that was the...
It's 5.338, okay? So that gives a different answer. You would still, thankfully actually in that one, if you rounded it, you would get the same thing. But be careful with rounding early. You don't want to round early, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Find the diameter and the radius of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. So, what shape are we talking about? A circle, okay? Do you think I'm looking for circumference or for area? Why do you think area? Because it says area. Okay, don't make this more difficult than you have to. Right there, it says area, so now I know I'm using area of a circle formula. What is that formula?
A equals pi r squared.
Good job. Now we're going to start plugging things in. First things first, please put your equal sign, okay? Because once again, I have people who take the equal sign out and just try to multiply it all together. Jakari, what should I plug in first? Good job. Keep going. What should I do next? So bring down what? What else is still in that? Bring down r squared. Okay, Mason, what's my goal? You want that variable alone. What two things are not allowing it to be alone? What do I do first? Good job. Always keep the exponent until the very end. So we're going to divide by 3.14 on both sides. Addison, when you do that, what do you get? What is it? 81. Okay, 81 equals what?
R squared.
R squared. Just remember, if I had r squared up here, you want to make sure that you bring r squared down, not just r. Okay, so is that my answer? No, what do I have to do?
Square root. Yeah, that thing.
Okay, we got to get rid of this square right here. The opposite of a square, as Sherelle just told us, is a square root. So what I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. The square root and the square cancel out, and I'm left with what? 9 what? Okay, 9 feet. Now let's go back to our instructions. The instructions say to find the diameter and the radius. What have we already found? Radius. Is there a simple way for us to find the diameter? What should I do? Multiply by 2. What's that multiplied by 2? 18 feet equals the what?
D.
What's the D stand for? Diameter, okay? Okay, so two things in the instructions we're looking for, perimeter and area. Explain to me what the perimeter is.
P equals 2L plus 2W.
Okay, you guys told me a formula, but what does that mean?
It's the distance around the parallel.
The distance around the parallelogram, okay? So you're basically going to be adding this and this. What is this right here?
The parallel line.
It's a parallel line, but what would how many feet is that?
That's
8.
8 feet, okay? Because it is parallel with this one down there. And what would this one be?
4 feet.
4, okay? So I could simply add 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus 8, okay? Or we have a simple formula, 2 times L plus 2 times W that we could do also. What's my length?
8.
8 feet.
What's my width?
4 feet.
Okay, what's 2 times 8?
16.
2 times 4?
8.
Answer?
24 feet.
24 feet, okay? So then let's just think about this. If I added 8 plus 4, what is that?
12.
12. This one also would have been 8 plus 4, which was another 12. And what's 12 plus 12? 24, which is the same thing that we just got down here, okay? Now, how do I find the area of a parallelogram? It's a different formula completely.
A equals B times H.
Okay, A equals base times height. What's my base?
8 feet.
What's my height?
5.
What's 8 times 5?
40 feet squared.
40 feet squared. Why did you square it?
Because of area.
Because whenever we talk about area, you always want your unit squared. So when you're done with a problem every time, just look to see, is it asking for area? If it is, check to see, did I square it? If you did, good to go. All right, let's go on to the next one. Find the area of a trapezoid. This is probably the most tricky formula, okay? Just think of it like a trap. It's going to try to trap you. It's a little bit trickier. What is my formula for area of a trapezoid?
Equals 1/2.
We struggling. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's start plugging in. Base 1 and base 2. Does it matter which order I put it in? No, anyone's fine. I'll put in 4 and 7. Now, why do we know that 4 and 7 are my bases? Because they are parallel. This line could keep on going. This line could keep on going. Those are my parallel lines. So that's base 1 and base 2. And what's my height?
6 and 6.
6. Is there anything I have to do before I move on?
Put in parentheses.
You do the work that's inside of the parentheses. What is 4 plus 7?
11.
11. Now you're simply going to plug this into your calculator. When you do that, what do you get? Inches squared. How many of you got that on your own before we went over this? Excellent. Are there any questions for me? If you don't understand it, I want to make sure today is the day that I want to help you understand it. Okay, we're going to do one final problem today. Find the unknown base or height of the trapezoid. This will probably be the trickiest problem that I give you on the entire quiz. So first thing you got to do is start off with the correct formula. What formula am I looking for?
A equals 1 now B 1 plus B equals H. I mean 8.
Okay, what is that the formula for?
Yeah. No.
Trapezoid. What about the trapezoid? Perimeter, circumference, area? Area. You can tell that because it's right here. I have an area there, so we know we're going to be needing the formula. Area equals half B1 times B2 times H. B1 plus B2, okay? So help me out, Addison. What do I plug in first? 180 for which letter? A. That's my area. What's next, Ashley? Help me. Tell me what to write. Excellent. Okay. Jakari, is there any work I can do to the left of the equal sign? Nope. So I'm just going to bring 180 down. Now I've got to figure out, is there any work I can do on this side, guys? Okay? Why do you think I should do 1/2 and 9 before I do what's inside the parentheses?
Because it's still B1.
I don't know how to do anything inside the parentheses yet, so that's why I've got to do what comes on the outside. So guys, what is 1/2 times 9? 4.5. All right, so we're doing 4.5 times B1 plus 26.
And it's subtract.
Okay, you say divide. What should I divide? 4.5, okay? What you could have done, you could use the distributive property and you could multiply this by that and then that by that. But what would be easier is just getting rid of 4.5 so I don't even have to do the distributive property. What I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. What's 180 divided by 4.5? 40. Okay, 40 equals what? What's still left on the right side?
B1 plus B plus 26.
All I'm going to do is just bring that entire thing down. B1 plus 26. So my goal is to find base 1.
Subtract by 26 on both sides.
You got to get base 1 by itself, so in order to do that, you subtract by 26 on both sides, and that will give us our answer, which is?
26.
16. 14.
What's 40 minus 26? 14 what?
Feet.
14 feet.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions? Questions about something we've done today? All right, the main thing I want you guys to do is memorize your formulas over the weekend, study sections 11.4 and 11.7, and you'll be good. Okay? Good job today.